Alright guys, welcome back. I just want to make this very quick. Below is going to be one of a duel because I know a lot of people wanted to see how good I do in duel. The footage is from a ranked duel. You'll see how well I do. And then I also want to say thanks for sticking around. I know we lost actually a lot of people because I think they thought I said I was completely stopping Smite vids. I just needed a little bit of time. So, anyways, enjoy. These are the 5 controversial things that I really feel Smite should change. You guys may agree, and some of you would be like, that is horrible, don't do it. Nonetheless, though, enjoy the video. Alright guys, welcome back to the most amazing gaming channel in the world. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 potentially controversial things that I think Smite should change. Now, let's get on into this. For number 1, I feel that Loki's ult should reset on a kill with his ult. Now, I know some of you right now are thinking, oh my god, that's fucking stupid. That would be... No, just shut up, Dragon. Here's the thing. How often do you actually die from the ult of Loki? Not the follow-up 3 backstab that he does, but the ult itself. I feel that if they were to implement this to where if you actually get a kill with the ult of Loki, which doesn't do incredibly amount like an incredible amount of damage, I feel that it would completely change the way that Loki players could play. You could do the normal traditional ult in, hit with your 1 and 3, and then immediately follow it back up with your 3 and do a bunch of burst damage that way, but then you have that long cooldown. Maybe I feel that it would essentially change the way that Loki would be played and give it a different dynamic. The second thing that I think that they should change is going to be a 5-man queue on ranked. You know, you can do it in casuals, you can do it in everything else, but right now they have it capped at 3. Yes, this is cool. I do like that they moved it up from 2. However, a 5 would be game changing. It would allow people to test the teams that they may be trying. Maybe they're sitting there trying to make the SPL and test their abilities out as a full team and not just in casuals. By allowing a 5-man queue, the catch would be you have to queue against another 5-man queue. You're not going to get a 3 and a 2 or, 5 singles or anything like that. You would be going up essentially against another team that pre-queued, like pre-grouped. This, I believe, is in League. I think it's called I honestly think it's called team play or something of that sort. You guys might correct me in the comments, but League has this and I think it's amazing. It allows you to be able to go up against other 5-man queues. They already have, obviously you can solo, duo, and triple queue, but if they implemented a 5-man queue, it would be amazing, and I would take advantage of this. Now, why wouldn't we do 4? The reason why is because then with a 4-man queue, you are dictating whether or not you can have people that troll, and they'll go and queue up, and then they'll F6 right at the end. Having 4 people will allow a more toxic community to continue to get more toxic. Having that one person that does bad, the 4 other people are going to jump down that person's throat, or have the ability to. I think a 4-man queue would be detrimental to the game. However, 5 would be good, as long as you're going up against another 5-man queue, knowing that the queue times are probably going to be longer if you do that. The third thing that I think that should be fixed up would be reducing the Wrath or the Relic Wrath, their cooldown to 30 seconds. It's currently on 60 seconds, but it does nothing for your team. It doesn't stun gods. Sprint helps you get out and either chase or escape death. Curse allows you to do the same thing. Frenzy gives you team fight and tower push. The only thing Wrath is good for is for jungle creatures. This essentially has no place in a competitive game. Essentially, it's picked up, but for the most part, it's not very useful. Honestly, I think they should do something to try and give it a better place, and that would be reduce the Wrath cooldown to 30 seconds. Or increase the Wrath cooldown to 90 seconds, but remove the subsequent penalty, which is 50%. On major bosses like Gold Fairy and Fire, this would allow you to do 1,000 damage. If all 5 of your people have it, 5,000. By doing this, though, it's going to change the entire game, because are you going to do the 5-man Wrath, and are you going to go and immediately secure Gold Fury because you can do 5,000 damage to it right off the bat? Same thing with Fire. But on the other side, you're not going to have that team fight, presence. If the other team could have a curse and a sprint, and then you're going to be fucked. They might have to pick up a frenzy. I think it would really add a different dynamic to the game. Having Wrath we either have a 30-second cooldown or increase it to 90-second, but reduce the subsequent penalty. I think this would be amazing and give it a place in the game. So moving on to the fourth item would be fourth change would be the item Spear of Desolation. Everyone knows it gives you a massive power of 120, the 20 pen, and the passive, which is every time you get a kill, it reduces all your cooldowns by 8 with a 30-second cooldown. I think if they took off this cooldown timer on Spear of Deso, it would give it a point. For 3,800 gold, it's not worth it. You're a mage. You rely on your, even with your cooldowns, that's essentially only giving you your abilities to use all of your abilities. And it has to be used in the right order. Otherwise, the one that you use, such as Ra's ult, if you use that last to get a kill, the ult will not get the 8-second, buff of Spear of Deso. So you have to use it in the right amount. And even so, you're only going to be able to use those abilities twice. I think they should completely remove the 30-second cooldown, and this would actually give it a place in the game. Like, yes, I think it would be awesome. You go and you're a Giannis, and you get a double kill from your portal to your unstable vortexes. All of a sudden, all those things go on 16-second cooldown. I think it would be awesome. Yes, it would be somewhat broken, but it would at least give it, a place in the game. If anything, give it an 8-second cooldown. But 30 seconds is way too long to warrant a 3,800 gold expenditure, especially when you're going to be pairing that up with most of the time Rod of Tahuti. Those two items are going to put you over 7,000 gold for 2 items. That's ridiculous, and it just doesn't allow it to be played in a competitive part of the game. Now, some of the honorable mentions I want to talk about before moving on to the fifth and final thing. I think they should have increased Ao Kuang's scaling with his execute. They should have increased it just like it does Thanatos. As of right now, it's just, it's just not, it's good, but why do you have your 2 executes have different, set scales? Also, I think going on to the Relic Scout, it's just not, all it does is give you vision. It doesn't really give you anything. It's not ever played in a competitive nature. I think, though, if they were to allow you to increase the amount of wards you could have on the map to 3 if you get Scout. If you don't have Scout, it's always going to be 2. But imagine being able to have 3 sentry wards on the map at all times. I think that would be amazing, and it would actually give Scout a reason to pick it up. As of right now, it's just like Wrath. It's not an important or very good relic to pick up. And the last thing that I want to do as far as honorable mentions go is nerf Executioner be on par with Spear of Magus. Spear of Magus was essentially the magical part or magical equivalent of Executioner. When they nerfed Magus, I thought that they were going to move on to Executioner in the next patch, but they didn't, and they still haven't. I think if you're going to nerf the magical part of it, you should counter it and go to the magical or the physical. You basically, if you do one to one side, it would be like nerfing Obshard, but not nerfing Titan's Bane. Just my 2 cents there. And then moving on to the fifth and final thing that I think Smite should change would be removing the silence on Nox's 2. Let's just round and say that you do build some cooldown with Nox, and you have a 10-second cooldown on the 2 and the 1 combo. The only way to get out of the 2 and the 1 combo is by using beads. And you can't even use Sanctuary until you're out of the route, to my knowledge. I think I've tried this before, and you have to use beads and then use your Sanctuary. Even if not, though, that has a 150-second cooldown. Even if you have beads and Sanctuary, say you can use both, that's 75 seconds. Even with the 10-second cooldown, they only need to land 1 out of every 7, and they'll be able to use the big burst. I think this is ridiculous, the fact that the only way to get out of Nox's 2 is, or the 2-1 combo is with beads. She throws down the 2, and all of a sudden you can't do anything. You can't dash out. You can't do like it's horrible how they have implemented with the Nox silence on the 2. I think the 2 is fine. The 1 is fine, but by not allowing anyone to escape the 2 without just being able to run out of it, I think is horrible. So if they took that, I think it would be amazing. And if they used all of these changes, I think it would make and add a whole new dynamic to Smite. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did like it, throw it down in the comment section. Give it a like, comment. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree. Let me know what you think maybe Smite should change besides their servers, because their servers are shit. But thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, go follow the Twitch and Twitter down below in the description box. And until the next time, have yourself a fucking amazing life.